Gotti was in the streets for real in Memphis, bro. Like, I ain't saying it because I'm saying to him. I just keep it real. If he won the street, nigga, I'd say he went in the street. He was in the streets, bro. Like, you gonna see Gotti. You in the city. The mall, I used to see Gotti in the mall, like the hood mall, like super hood, like down there, like you know you ain't shopping, you just came here to walk around. Like, literally. Big ass chains on, 100 with him, chopper Glocks, all that. But, you know, he cooled down a lot, bro. Like, Gotti was worse than me, probably, when he came in.
He went from signing a record deal on a private jet to going completely invisible. No music, no label support, no buzz. Just gone. And now word is he's trying to find his way back into the machine that made him. This is the full story of Blacc Youngsta. The rise, the fall, the Dolph situation that changed everything, and where things actually stand right now. His real name is Sammy Marquez Benson, born April 8, 1990, on McMillan Street on the south side of Memphis, one of the roughest pockets in a city already known for being unforgiving. He and his brothers were raised by their grandparents, both of them working. Both of them still barely keeping food on the table. His grandfather got him a job at a local grocery store at age 7. He got fired because the manager caught him placing fake orders so he could take food home. 7 years old. That's not crime, that's survival. That's the foundation this man came from. The streets were inevitable. And when music entered the picture, it became the only exit strategy. He started putting out mixtapes around 2012, Fast Bricks, Fast Bricks 2, Fast Bricks 3, no label, no budget, no cosign, just building a name in Memphis the hard way. And then in 2015, he made something that caught everybody's attention. The record was called Heavy. Memphis energy, real street vibes, and it started spreading fast. Yo Gotti heard it. And at this point, Gotti had been in the game for decades, had already built CMG, had studied every great label model that existed. He was looking for the right talent. Heavy told him he found it. Here's how the actual connection happened. Youngsta showed up uninvited to one of Gotti's video shoots and started blasting his own music in the parking lot. That's bold, that's unhinged, and it worked. Gotti noticed him before the shoot was even wrapped, was already talking to his people about him. By the end of that interaction, conversations had started. Gotti hopped on the Heavy remix. That was the public stamp. And shortly after, Blacc Youngsta signed to CMG in 2015. The signing didn't happen in a boardroom. Gotti signed him on a private jet and posted about it. For a kid from McMillan Street who used to steal food at age 7, standing on a private jet signing a label deal is not just a business transaction. That is the American dream in a moment. Things moved fast after that. His first CMG mixtape dropped in September 2015 with Gotti and Boozy on it. He established his own imprint inside the label called Heavy Camp. He stayed active, tape after tape, building the right way. Then 2017 brought Hip Hopper. Then 2018 brought Booty, which peaked at number 73 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went gold. His debut studio album 223 peaked at number 42 on the Billboard 200. Real numbers. His name was in conversations with Tory Lanez, T.I., DJ Loaf, G-Eazy, Wiz Khalifa, Ty Dolla $ign. He did a joint project with Moneybagg Yo. He was everywhere, from crashing a Memphis video shoot to gold records and Billboard charts. That's an insane run, but there was a shadow over all of it. Yo Gotti had a long-running beef with young Dolph, another Memphis rapper who built his career independently and was genuinely beloved on the streets. In the middle of that beef, Youngsta was Gotti's soldier. In 2016, he filmed himself pulling up to Dolph's neighborhood, heavily armed. He dropped diss tracks. He was on the front lines while Gotti mostly stayed back. That's an important detail. Youngsta was putting himself out there in ways that had consequences he couldn't fully predict. Then, in November 2021, young Dolph was shot and killed at a cookie shop in Memphis. The entire city was mourning. The rap world was in shock. Dolph was loved, he was independent, he had a family, and he was gone. Almost immediately after, Blacc Youngsta performed Shake Somethin', his diss track against Dolph, at a concert in Dallas while the city was still grieving. The backlash was immediate and severe. Then he dropped a music video where he walked through a cemetery and stopped at a gravestone with the name Thornton on it. Dolph's last name was Thornton. People lost it. Dolph's fans, Dolph family, the Memphis community. The outrage was real, and it was loud. Gotti responded to the rumors that Youngsta had been dropped from CMG by posting that it was fake news and that Youngsta couldn't be dropped. But notice what he didn't say. He didn't say Youngsta was right. He didn't say he stood behind him fully. He said he can't be dropped. That's a very specific, very limited defense. And from that moment forward, things were never quite the same. You could see it in the label's movement. CMG signed an 8-figure deal with Interscope. Moneybagg Yo dropped a Gangsta's Pain, which hit #1 on the Billboard 200. 42 Doug was rising. ESTG was rising. And then in 2022, CMG signed Glorilla, who became a phenomenon almost overnight. Grammy nominations, BET Awards, top 10 hits. In the middle of all this expansion, the second artist ever signed to CMG got a feature credit on the 2022 label compilation. One feature. That was it. Nobody said he was being phased out. The label just stopped pushing him the way they pushed everyone else. His projects weren't getting the same promo. The big features dried up, the streams declined. And the industry fade is one of the coldest things that can happen to an artist because nobody announces it. There's no meeting, no letter, no conversation. They just stop. And the silence tells you everything. Eventually, word got out that Youngsta was going independent. He was done with CMG, going to build under his heavy camp imprint on his own terms. And the reasoning made sense. If you helped build a label, rode for it through everything, and now you're watching every new signing get more resources than you, that's disrespect without a single word being spoken. The frustration was understandable, but going independent costs money that his situation didn't have. When you're on a label, the rollouts, the videos, the marketing, the distribution, all of that is handled. The moment you leave, it all falls on you. And when your streaming numbers have already been declining, when the features from major names have dried up, going indie without runway is extremely difficult to navigate. His independent releases, Black Sheep 2 in 2024, the Heavy Camp compilation Checkmate in 2025, haven't generated the same numbers. The music's still coming, but the reach is a fraction of his CMG-backed work. There's something else underneath all of this that matters. Youngsta has lost multiple brothers to the streets of Memphis. Not one, multiple. He was rapping, grinding, making money, trying to use that to pull his family out of the environment that shaped him, and kept losing them anyway. That kind of weight doesn't just sit in the background. It affects how you move, how you think, whether you want the spotlight, or whether you'd rather stay quiet, because in Memphis, attention can cost you. Some of what looks like going ghost is probably a man trying to grieve and survive at the same time. Now here's where it gets interesting. The word circulating is that Youngsta has been making moves to reconnect with Gotti. That after the independent experiment, after realizing the labels machine isn't something you rebuild overnight, he's been working toward getting back in. Nobody has said it on camera directly, but the situation around him is telling a story. His departure from CMG happened right as legal proceedings connected to the Dolph murder case were heating up around CMG affiliates. Some people say he was pushed out to protect the label. Others say he left voluntarily and is now realizing what he gave up. Either way, the result is the same. He's outside the machine he helped build, while that machine is worth more than it's ever been. The real question isn't whether Youngsta is talented. The question is whether there's a path back to the level he was at before. Memphis has produced independent legends. Dolph himself proved you can build something real without a major, but Dolph built his independence at his commercial peak, not after the fade had already set in. Youngsta's situation is different, and the people closest to him understand that, which is why the Gotti conversations keep coming up. Sometimes the smartest move isn't pride. Sometimes the smartest move is picking up the phone and saying, whatever happened between us, let's figure it out. Because I'm better inside this machine than outside of it. From McMillan Street to a private jet signing to Billboard charts to going ghost. That's the full Blacc Youngsta story. And it's not over yet. Drop a comment. Do you think Gotti should bring Youngsta back? And do you think Youngsta can rebuild without CMG if it doesn't happen?